What up, everybody? And welcome to the special guest episode 50 of Blake&VishSports. Sports. So, as you guys know, we've been kind of hyping this episode up for the last probably few episodes that we're going to do something special at 50. And we want to do something that we've done in the past before that I think a lot of people liked. And we're bringing on two people that are fan favorites. One who's Nolan George. He's on our Hoops with Noel episodes, and obviously fans love him. He was on the betting guides as well. Did not miss bets. Got to get him back again this year, as he is just straight fire with the betting. And then super fan Jamal Armstrong, who we're so happy reached out to us, and we were able to connect with him and actually get him on the stream as well. So we're going to be doing one of these build your $15 lineups. So here's the board. This is a house of highlights. They posted it on Twitter, so shout out to them for making this awesome board. And basically how we're going to do it is it's going to be a snake draft. So we're basically just going to draft in kind of the order that we're all lined up. I'm first, Fish second, Noel third, and then Jamal. And then we'll just compare our teams at the end, kind of explain why we each took the players we did and how good our teams are compared to the rest of the field. But Nolan, Vish, and Jamal, how are you guys all doing? It's great to see you guys again on stream.
It's a pleasure to be on. 50 episodes. Can't believe we made it. We want to thank all of you for your support, especially Noel for coming on quite a few episodes, especially early when we talk about hoops, and Jamal for really supporting us in that comments section for so long. We really appreciate it. We're excited to do this draft. I'm excited. I'd love to do a 2K simulation. Maybe somebody in the comments can do the 2K simulation. Yeah, but all I know is that Noel's team is going to once again struggle. Blake's team is not going to be very good again. Jamal might have something solid, but I'm not feeling too I'm feeling pretty good about my team and where we're going to stand after this.
Yeah, I'm excited to be back in the stream. I haven't been on in a while, but as the last kid talking, he's getting a little overconfident. Classic Fish right there. His team's definitely not going to be better than mine. It never has been. So I'm excited for this draft to show once again why my team will be superior to Fish. So I'm excited.
Yeah, once again, thanks for having me on. Appreciate the time. Good to see you guys and checking with you. Always fun to do these drafts as well. And like you said, super fan of the show and always enjoy watching your content. So keep that up. And yeah, let's get to it. The trash talk is already flowing. I think we're good. We're ready. I'm excited about it. Let's have a good time.
Awesome. So, yeah, like I mentioned, we're going to try to limit it to a minute per pick. I don't think it'll be that long, but just, we don't want people taking extraordinarily long amounts of time. But I'm actually first on the clock. And with my first pick, I'm going to be taking Zion Williamson. So he's my big ticket guy. He's $5, hyped out of Duke, number one pick to the Pelicans. And I really like having him as my power forward. He can defend decently, super athletic, and he's making everything when he gets into the paint. So I really like Zion Williamson, and I'm taking him as my first player. And then the next on the board is going to be Vish.
Yeah, to me, this is a no-brainer. I see all the big-ticket players. Outside of Luka Doncic, I'm not sure if the $5 players are really worth spending $5 on early. I'm actually going to go a little cheaper to the $2 section, where I think we have a little bit of a steal here at $2. And I'm going to go with LaMelo Ball. I think LaMelo Ball is one of the most talented players on this entire board. He had an unbelievable rookie season. He's an amazing all-around player. I think that he already shows the ability to both distribute and score at a very high level. And he's just 19, 20 years old. I think LaMelo Ball, when it's all said and done, might end up being the best player on this board. And I think he's already up there with the top 5 or 6 guys in this board. So I'm going to take LaMelo Ball for $2, and that's going to be my first pick.
Awesome. And then that'll be next is Nolan.
All right. So I was definitely scoping Zion. He's been taken already. So with my first overall pick, I am going to go to the $5 range, and I'm going to get who I think is the most prototype player with all of the features that you need in a player and can go anywhere. I'm going to go with Jason Tatum. I think he does a little bit of everything. He does everything well. So I'm taking Tatum with my first overall.
Awesome. Did Jamal?
Yeah, not bad. I'm a little shocked that you guys let him slide this far. I'm going to go to the 5 section as well, too, and take Larry Bird Jr. So I'm going to go ahead and take Luka. Super versatile player. You can put him at the 1, the 2, or the 3, in my opinion. Like I said, very versatile. And really, when it's all said and done, I think he has a great chance of being the best player on this list as well. He's definitely on that trajectory, to start his career. Next step is to get over the Clippers, and I expect him to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and take Luka.
Awesome. And then, Jamal, you're up again, and then it's in a reverse the order.
Ooh, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take Ben Simmons. I'm going to take him. I'm going to put him at power forward. I haven't played my power forward position. So, yeah, he's versatile as well. I think he will continue to be a perennial Defensive Player of the Year candidate. Love his ability. And with the team I'm planning on building, I won't be expecting him to take any shots or take any threes, having to shoot any jump shots. I want to keep him close to the basket. And in a pinch, if I need him to get on the perimeter and guard someone, he can do that too. So I'll go ahead and take Ben.
Awesome. Back to you, Noel.
All right, so with this pick, I'm going to go with the big man. And when you look at the big men on this list, there's only really one guy I see who's got offensive ability to the extent where he can kind of make his own offense. He's also decent value, I'd say. I'm going with DeAndre Ayton. I think he showed out in the playoffs. I think he's a great player on both ends of the basketball. I think he's the best center on this board, if I'm being honest. So he's on my team. Welcome to the squad, DeAndre.
I agree with you on Ayton being the best center on the board. I think there's incredible value across the $2. But I just drafted LaMelo Ball. I need to get some perimeter defense on my team to pair with LaMelo Ball at the 2. I mean, I'd love to take Donovan Mitchell or Devin Booker, but I'm actually going to take a guy who I think is pretty underrated, and I'm going to take Jalen Brown to pair with LaMelo Ball. And I think Jalen Brown's defense will be quite useful. He's a good catch-and-shoot three-point shooter. He can play off the ball. It'll be a perfect fit next to LaMelo Ball.
Awesome. So is he going to be your shooting guard or small forward then?
I mean, we'll see how the rest of the team plays out. He's versatile. He can play the 2 or the 3.
For sure. So I'm back up, and I have 2 picks here. So with my first one, I like a big team. I like having as many tall guys as I can get. So I'm going to be taking a $1 player, and that's going to be Miles Turner, and he's going to be my starting center. So he's going to kind of be the anchor of my defense, and he had a ton of blocks this year, and I'm anticipating that again. So having him and Zion protecting the paint is sort of going to be my beginning strategy for this roster. And the next pick I'm going to be making is I have these 2 tall guys, and might as well get a third. And I'm going to take a small forward this time, and he's also going to be $2. Or not also, but he will be $2. And that's going to be Michael Porter Jr., and he has great shooting. Not the best creator, but he's really tall, solid at rebounding. Defense is lacking a little bit, but I really like MPJ, and he's going to be dropping buckets on Jalen Brown's head. That's all I know.
You must be talking of you must know a different Jalen Brown.
Oh my God.
The Jalen Brown on my team, that's not happening.
All right,
no,
sure.
but jokes aside, I mean, I think that Nolan and Blake do a real good job of drafting every single big man in this draft and ensuring that they're the only ones with big men in a shooting league. I mean, the center position's becoming obsolete, and here we have Nolan and Blake going back-to-back center picks, and they're missing out on the most versatile center on this board, and that's who I'm going to take. I'm going to take Bam Adebayo. I like Bam Adebayo's versatility. I think he's the best, and maybe Miles Turner. Aiden's also very good defensively. I don't know if I can say he's the best defensive center on the board, but he's a hell of a defensive center. I think he moves well enough on the perimeter. I think his passing, to go with LaMelo's passing, and Jalen Brown doesn't really have a lot of playmaking to his game, so I think it'll be a good mix. So I'll take Bam Adebayo for $3. I think my total right now is up to $9. So I got $6 to play with. We're looking good.
Yep, you're at 9. I'm at 8. Nolan 7 right now. All you are at 9. And Nolan's
Okay.
9.
Back up again. So I got Tatum, who can be 3 or 4, and I got the man Aiden at the center. There's a tendency on these drafts that I do like to go a little big with my lineups. I think it provides extra toughness, extra grit. So I'm going back with the blueprint on that regard, and I'm going with my man John Collins for $2. And that means I'm putting Tatum at the 3. I think Tatum is a true 3. He can play the 4, but I like Collins to take the defensive ease off Tatum and give him the 3, so it can be full versatility. And Collins also has that 3 ball, so don't leave him open. So I like my team. Got the size. Now it's a matter of getting the guards. Let's go.
You know, it's funny because me and Blake could have told you before this draft that if John Collins is on the board by the 3rd pick, there's no way no one's not taking him.
Let's go.
I like it. Yeah, so I think for my next pick, I'm going to go ahead and go to the $1 column, like $1 tier, and was Miles Turner taken?
Yeah, Blake took him.
Yeah.
ZO2's available, though.
Big baller.
Somebody take Miles Turner yet?
Yeah, Blake took him.
Yeah, I took Miles Turner.
Oh, he did take him. Okay. So never mind. I'm gonna go ahead and take. Still need it for sure. Luka. Okay, I have Luka, Ben so far. I'm gonna go ahead and take my center. I will take Jared Allen. I'm gonna go ahead and take him for $2. Have him defend the rim, and he's I would say his mobility is good enough that he can, he runs the floor. He runs the floor really well. He's also a lob option. He's really young still. He can still improve. I don't think he's got a super great offensive game. I'm not expecting him to be doing that for me. But I love his energy, and he can defend the paint really well. So I'm going to go ahead and take Jared Allen, who should be at the $1 tier, and Miles Turner should be at the 2.
You got one more pick, Jamal.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. It might be cutting in and out. Can you guys hear?
Yeah, I can't hear him right now.
I can't hear you.
All right, Jamal, I'm going to remove you and then add you back, all right? Now, I'm going to remove Jamal, and I'll add him back to the stream.
Yeah. Jamal, your connection okay? Here,
I got one more pick. Okay.
Reload this.
I'm going to take – so I have Luka. I've got Ben. I've got Allen.
Yep.
I'm going to go ahead and take Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards is going to blow up. I think he's super talented well for his age. He's super bouncy. And I just think this dude's going to continue to get better and better. He's eventually – can't hear me? Yep.
Awesome. So, as of right now, Jamal, you have $12 spent. Nolan's up.
Let me move. I'm going to move closer. I'm going to move out of here and go to where I was last time.
Perfect.
Awesome. Sounds good. And then
Give me
Nolan,
just 1 second. My bad, guys.
No issues at all.
Oh, wait, am I on the clock? Who's on the clock?
You are on the clock. 30 seconds gone.
All right, so, okay, Vish getting a little crazy over there, classic. I have my bigs already, so I got John Collins, I got Aiden, and I got Tatum. And now what I'm going to do is take a man who's going to run the offense. He's also going to be a great player on the defensive end. He does everything pretty well. And to make matters even better, he's a big baller. I'm going ZO2 for $1. How about that? ZO2. Vish got LaMelo. I was scoping LaMelo. He got him, but I'm getting the older brother. I'm getting the top dog in the fam. So take that.
I'm going to be honest with you. I did want to get both because LeVar would be coming to all the games sitting courtside. Maybe LeVar could even coach the team if I had both LaMelo and Lonzo.
I mean, all I'm saying is right now there's two teams with the big baller X factor, and it ain't Blake and it ain't Jamal. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
All I'm saying.
I mean, this might be a 2-team race right now. I don't think Blake's looking too hot right now.
That's ludicrous.
But that puts me back on the clock, and I really appreciate you guys for just leaving this guy on the board for $1. You know, the NBA is a versatile league. I need some more defense, versatility, 3-point shooting to pair with LaMelo Ball. And, you know, Mikal Bridges is just sitting here, just chilling. And I'll have $5 left. And so I'll be able to take one of Book or Spida with my next pick to kind of finish up my team. I just wanted to throw that in so you guys know what I'm playing with. But I'll go with Mikal Bridges right here to pair with Jalen Brown, two great defensive wings. You got Bam Adebayo protecting the paint. And then you have LaMelo Ball initiating the offense with those guys shooting. Please.
Interesting. All right, so Vish is going Mikal Bridges. I have spent $8 so far, so that means I have $7 more and 2 more picks, and then my team will be complete. And the first pick I'm going to be making is for $3, and this guy's going to be my shooting guard, and it's going to be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. So he is on the Thunder. He's going to be a star soon. He can score from anywhere. And he's just going to be getting buckets over everyone. Bridges can't guard him. I know that for a fact. So I'm taking Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And then finally, I have $4 left, and I'm going to take a $4 guy to run my team. Now, he might not be the best on defense, but his offense is great in the pick and roll with Turner and Zion. And he's going to be throwing lobs all day, and that's going to be Trae Young. And so he's going to cap off my team, $15 spent to the T, and now Vish is up.
You know, Blake has had a few terrible teams when we've done this in the past. I'm going to give him a little golf clap. This team is not bad. It's really good. I like the ice trade pick. Him in the pick and roll with Zion would be lethal. But unfortunately, my team would just clamp your team. And I'm going to go and I'm going to get myself a star to put next to LaMelo, Jalen Brown, Mikal Bridges, and Bam Adebayo. And I have a choice between Spida Mitchell and Devin Booker. And I know everybody's on the Devin Booker wave right now, but I'm going to go with the better 3-point shooter here. And I'm going to go with Donovan Mitchell. I like 3-point shooting. I like it. I'm an analytics guy. Mitchell's the perfect secondary playmaker, too, next to LaMelo Ball, the secondary ball handler. A team works out perfectly. We got length. We got size. We have everything needed. We have versatility. We can play defense. And Spida Mitchell is going to cap off my team.
And then Nolan is up. And Nolan, you have $5 left to spend. So anyone left on the board is yours.
It's true. So I got $5. I'm looking for a shooting guard. It kind of was dependent on Vish's pick. I was looking at D-Book. I was looking at Spida. I don't like giving Vish too much credit, but I will say I do think Spida is better than Book. I think he's got a little more athleticism. He does have a little bit of a better shot. But with that said, you can't put too much down on D-Book. He's proven himself in these playoffs. He's a bucket. My team's got defense, so I'm going with D-Book. I think on my team, he's going to be very nice with Tatum to be the two primary playmakers. And my team's looking dang near unstoppable. So I'm a happy camper with my team. And that's the last guy I got.
I just got a phone call, actually, from and I was just talking to somebody. It looks like my team will be signing Patrick Beverley to come off the bench just to guard Devin Booker, and keep him to under 20 points. Just that's what I heard. So not
is he going to throw a hissy fit and push CP in the back when they lose?
Yup. Yeah, he
could
is.
happen.
Yeah, he is.
Funny. All right, and that leaves Jamal. He has $3 left to complete his team.
For sure. My bad once again. Sorry, guys, about the connection. Went out there for a second. Hopefully, we're good now. I'm sounding okay.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
We're doing
Awesome.
great.
I'm going to ask this question because I know my sound did go out. I'm not sure. I don't think he was taken. But so I'm going to go ahead and say, so I've got Luka, I've got Ben, I have Jared Allen, and Anthony Edwards. Like you said, that leaves me with $3. I'm a little bit of a smaller ball lineup besides Ben Simmons. Jared Allen's a little bit smaller for a center as well too. So I'm going to go ahead and switch up a little bit. I feel like I need a small forward. I was looking at my lineup. I can use Luka that way. So I'm going to go ahead and go off and take Jamal Murray here. But Luka at the 3. I'll go ahead and take Jamal Murray. So that leaves me with Luka, Ben, Jared Allen, Anthony Edwards, and Jamal Murray. I'll have Luka play the 3. I'll go ahead and have Anthony Edwards at the 2. I can have Jamal Murray play the 1. He's spent some time at the 1 and the 2 throughout his career. Obviously, Ben at the 4 leaves me with Jared Allen at the 5. I think that's a solid lineup. Gives me some scoring punch. Definitely got some defensive players in there as well, and a lot of added versatility. So I like where I'm going with that.
Can I be honest with you, Jamal?
For sure.
I don't like where you're going. I think my team would destroy your team.
Okay, for sure. We'll look at it again. I'll look at it again. I don't even remember all the picks that you have, to be honest. I can't really have a rebuttal.
I'm just playing.
So we've all invested. I've been keeping track of all of this information on a spreadsheet, and I will put that on here now so we can all look and compare everybody's teams. And so this is what we are looking at right here. I'm on the left. We can just go team by team and just have people say why they took who they took. And we'll start with Vish because he thinks his team's going to beat Jamal's just off the bat. He likes his team a lot. So, Vish, walk us through your team and how good do you think it is compared to the field?
Yeah, I'm taking a look at the field, and Jamal, I'm sorry, not really worried about your team. I think you have too many guys who create off the bounce and not enough guys who play off the ball. So I think that there might be a little bit of a your turn, my turn offense on your team that doesn't really work after a while, especially when you're playing teams as talented as this. No, I like your team. I think it's got some size, but I also think that you're lacking the true playmaker on your team, like Blake and I have with LaMelo and Trae Young. I think ZO2 might have those games where he gets very passive and just decides not to shoot the ball. And I also think that you'll struggle to guard on the perimeter since Blake and I go out to the perimeter with John Collins and DeAndre Ayton. I think it might be a pick and roll mixer party with your team, which leaves Blake. And like I said, after you finish your draft, Blake, I actually think you have a strong team. I think that our teams would compete. I just think that you don't have defense on your team. Zion Williamson is not a good defensive player. Michael Porter Jr. is not a good defensive player. Miles Turner is a very good defensive player, but Trae Young's also not a very good defensive player. And so because of that, I'm ecstatic with my team. I think LaMelo Ball is one of the best playmakers available. I think he's special as a ball handler, scorer, distributor. Jalen Brown, unbelievable defensive player, high efficiency scorer. Also really strong and can compete down low for rebounds because we are a little bit smaller. Bam Adebayo, the most versatile defensive big man in the league, can jump out to the perimeter and guard people, can guard 3 through 5 pretty well, moves well, great passer. You can put him in the high post. You can do a variety of things with him. Good roller in the pick and roll. And then I got Mikal Bridges, a super lengthy defensive versatile piece who can also shoot the 3 at a decent efficiency clip. Super solid role player next to those guys. And then I got a star in Spida Mitchell, a guy who just goes and gets 40 on a bad ankle against some of the best perimeter defensive players in the league, like Paul George and all of those guys on the Clippers. So I'm feeling pretty good about my team. And I love the primary ball handler, secondary ball handler role distribution between LaMelo Ball and Spida Mitchell. I think they'll be perfect for each other.
Interesting. So Noel, I mean, he was talking pretty record team there. Like, what are your thoughts on your team versus the field? Like, you think you got the best team out here?
Yeah, so of course Vish is just making it out like he's got the best team. He's saying all this nonsense. He's putting his team on this little pedestal like they're so much better. that's just not the reality of what's going in. So I'll focus on Vish's team first because he's just acting like his team's just so much better than everyone. And comparing it to mine, first of all, he goes, "Oh yeah, Noel's team doesn't have that much playmaking ability." Oh, well, that's interesting because I have Jason Tatum and Devin Booker. I don't know. Do those count as playmakers? I don't know. Apparently not.
Are they going to be distributing the basketball?
So I don't need them to distribute the basketball. I got ZO2, one of the kings in the league at distributing the basketball. He's bringing the ball up. He's getting the offense started. He's running stuff, and he doesn't even need to score that much. If you want to single him out, he's going up against his brother, he knows the same moves. He knows what's coming. He knows how to beat him. He's been beating LaMelo on their home court and LeVar Ball's mansion since they were little, man. Lonzo's just the bigger brother. I'm not worried about LaMelo Ball. That's an easy matchup right there. And then we look at Vish's team, and compared to mine, as per usual, it's looking a little small. So, I mean, we got Jalen Brown and John Collins. That's going to be interesting there. I mean, and Tatum could go off on Michael. It's a tall assignment for Michael. He might have to switch that around. So I've got
we'll put Brown on Tatum. We'll have Spida take Book. We'll have LaMelo take Lonzo. Bam will take DeAndre Ayton, and that leaves
Michael on Collins.
Yeah, why not?
A little bit bold there. I think John Collins win that matchup 10 out of 10 times. But I do
16 and 10 from John Collins on Michael. Ooh.
Yeah, John Collins is just going to show him why he's a bigger, badder man in the post. He's got more grit. I think my team's better defensively than Vish's. LaMelo Ball is a good handler. Vish is going to have some problems on offense versus my team, but enough on Vish. I think it's way more even than Vish acting like his team's way better. I just had to get that out of the way. It's just classic Vish. We'll go over to Jamal's team. I think Jamal's team would provide some problems on defense. They have a very good defensive end, but I think my team would just be better on offense. I look at players like Ben Simmons and Jared Allen, and they're kind of just on offense, just kind of there. They're kind of just waiting for someone to give them a pass or do something for them. Obviously, Luka, not much I can do to stop that, man. He's a beast. So I think with Jamal's team, it would just be a matter of guys like Anthony Edwards and Jamal Murray have a good game or a bad game. They're historically streaky players, so I like my odds with Jamal's team. We'll switch it over to Blake's team, and I think Vish hit it on the head. This team's got no defense. I'm not afraid at all of this team. Unless Trae Young's dropping 40 bombs, which I'll take my odds for. He has the ability to. This team just not got much defense besides Miles Turner. The thing about my team is I don't even need Aiden to go off. I got who's going to guard D-Book, who's going to guard Tatum. It ain't going to be MPJ. It ain't going to be Trae Young. It ain't going to be maybe Zion could contest a little bit, but that team defensively, yuck. So those are my thoughts on the teams. I like my team. I will say Vish does have the strongest competition in my opinion. Hate to admit that, but he's acting like his team's way too good to be true. That was cap. You see what I'm wearing? Vish Kumaran cap right there. That's what I'm saying.
I do have to mention one thing. I did get on Jamal's team a little bit. The one advantage Jamal has, I think, and I think we can all agree on it, he has by far the best player probably that was available in Luka. So to be fair, Jamal's team has that one advantage, and maybe Luka goes Braun and takes George Hill, Mo Williams, Daniel Gibson, those type caliber players, and these players are obviously much better than those guys. But what I meant to say is takes an inferior team than us three. No offense, Jamal, and wins it all.
It's all good, no worries. The one thing I'd say, I guess, about my team there too, that you guys didn't mention, Luka, Anthony Edwards, and Jamal Murray on any given night could drop 50. One of them really could drop 50 on any given night. I like that, and that's why I was saying I don't need Ben Simmons to go off for 20. I don't even need him to go off really for 15. If he can give me, 7 to 10 assists and about 10 boards a game, love that. In crunch time, because I know my team will have great defense. In crunch time, I know that depending on who's in foul trouble, if we're talking about foul trouble or whatever, I can be super versatile and have Ben Simmons out there on the wing, or I can have him in the paint as well too. I have him playing power forward for this.
The one thing I will say in counter to that, Jamal, is that in my opinion, I would want one of those guys to go off and get 50. Because if Edwards is getting 50, what's Jamal Murray and Ben Simmons doing? And Luka Doncic, they're just watching him.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right. I understand that.
And
I
if
understand,
Luka's
and that's
getting
actually one
50
thing. If we're going to transition to your team just a little bit, I do think that while I don't think that your team is maybe the best, I think that your team would probably gel the best. Honestly, I think you've got so you got LaMelo, Jalen, Bam, Mikal, and Donovan Mitchell. Who do you think on your team would be your star, Donovan or like LaMelo?
I think it would be kind of both in their own ways. I think Donovan would average the most points a game, but LaMelo would run the show.
Yeah. Okay. No, I see where you're coming from. I do think, in my personal opinion, I think that your team probably adds. It's probably maybe the most scary, I would say, in this lineup, just because I do think that each role is filled really well. Like I said, you have LaMelo who would run the show. You got Donovan Mitchell there. He'll probably give you 25 to 30. Bam Adebayo is amazing. He can pass the ball as well too. I think he's probably a top 5 passing center as well. He can play defense, real mobile. Obviously, Mikal Bridges, solid shooter, real good defensively, and so is Jalen Brown. So those are 2 good guys on the wing to defend any of our wings. So yeah, I think your team does add a lot of. I think that your team would have a good chance because they would gel well and they fit their roles well. Whereas with my team, I do agree with you that there are a lot of ball dominant guys. I think if they buy in, kind of maybe like the Lakers this year, if they buy in with the goal of winning a championship, that they have the talent to do that. I would want Luka to have the ball in his hands. I think that Luka's cold. I just think Luka's really cold. So is Anthony Edwards. He's still really young right now. So I would need probably Luka to kind of bring him along. And like you said, with Jamal Murray going off for 50, it means, Luka's probably not eating. I agree with that. I do. But I do think that Luka's still a threat. I don't need him shooting a trillion threes because he does have those opportunities where he airballs. But I just think he's cold. And when the moment calls for it, I think that he would step up to the moment. And we've seen Jamal Murray do that as well, too. Maybe not at the very, very, very end of games, because that's where Jokic comes into play. But that's what I like Luka for. So I do think, all in all, I think all 4 of these teams are solid. I do have to agree with Vish and Noel that I think we would run through Blake's team because of the defense. But on the offensive end, I think they're okay.
Yeah, and one thing with my team before Blake goes real quick, the one thing I look at this board, and I was going on and on about the positive about my team, and obviously there's so many of those. The one thing that is scary is I once again went fully analytical. My team won't be able to rebound the basketball. Like, even Jamal, you mentioned your team is smaller, but Luka Doncic, Ben Simmons, those guys are very, very, very good rebounders.
Yeah.
My team, after Bam, LaMelo might be the best rebounder on my team, which says a lot. So
I think the one thing I disagree with, you said Luka's a very good defender. I don't think he's a very good
rebounder.
Huh?
I said he's a very good rebounder.
Oh, rebounder. My bad. I got you. Yeah, I'd agree with that. And I know someone here in the comments just said Jamal Murray's on 1 ACL. Well, we're talking about a healthy Jamal Murray. Yeah, right now he's not getting it done. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. So there's been a lot of slander on my team here. So I'm the last. I was first, and I understand the defensive aspect. Yeah, I have 3 defenders, or 3 people on my team. Might not be the best defenders, but my offense, who's stopping it? Like, legitimately, I have 4 guys that can average 20 a game or around that, if not more. Shooting out of the ball. Trae Young, all I really got to do is send him with a high screen roll and just let him work. And who better rollers than Miles Turner and Zion Williamson? Yeah, defense will be really rough for the team, but Miles Turner can hold down the interior of the paint just enough so that I'm giving buckets on everybody. And then let me just go matchup by matchup here. So, Vish, who's going to rebound on your team compared to mine? Miles Turner, Zion, and MPJ? I might triple your rebounds, like, legitimately. Like, that's tough. Nolan, yeah, you got some bigger guys, but Trae Young on Lonzo, Lonzo's going to be barbecue chicken there. And then Jamal, I don't know. I think you match up pretty well against me. But again, like Trae Young, like, who's going to guard him? I don't think anyone can. Like, he's just so dominant. And I'm just going to play Brooklyn that style of basketball. I don't need defense, just offense aboard, and Miles Turner is just going to hold it down for me in the paint. But I guess drop a comment on who has the best team, who has the worst team, why my team would just kill Vish's in any simulation on 2K you can think of. But yeah, just
Your
let us
team can
know.
barely
And
shoot.
any final thoughts, guys?
That was reckless.
I have a quick thought. I heard how you going to stop Blake's team on offense. I think it's a fair point, but if I'm coaching my team, I'm saying, hey, when Miles Turner has the ball, let him shoot the jumper and double team the other players. I'm letting Miles Turner fly whatever he's doing. It might work. It might not work every time. He might pass it, but if he's got the ball, let the man shoot is what I'm saying.
Keep it out of the
Blake
paint.
is right.
He's not
Zion
leaving
and,
that little cylinder.
Zion and Trey might be the most threatening offensive duo of all our teams. But, I mean, again, Blake is out here like, yeah, my team can't defend, but, yeah, your team can't play defense, so you're going to lose to all three of our teams. That's the bottom line. We can score with you, and you're going to have more trouble scoring because I think our teams do have guys who can kind of guard. Like, Jamal has Ben Simmons, who did the best job on Trae Young. It just got underrated because his offense was so bad in that series, but he really did the best job on Trae Young we have ever seen. Even Drew Holiday, I think, didn't do as good a job. Huh?
Well, then who's guarding Zion?
I mean,
Luka? Because if Ben Simmons is guarding Trae Young, then like who's guarding Zion? Because Zion's a man. That's a big dude.
True.
Yeah, that could be a
true.
mismatch.
But I mean, Zion's scoring twos. The rest of us are going to be shooting threes. We have legitimate teams that can shoot and make 23s a game.
I'm not worried about your threes. Like Bam Adebayo shooting threes. Come on, get out of here.
Nah, but the other four guys are going to make threes.
I mean, no, it won't be.
Before we go, I actually would love to hear all of y'all's rankings of these four teams. I actually got a ranking, so I'll go first, and then I'll leave the floor to you guys. But if I was to rank them, I would put Jamal's team in fourth. I'd put Blake's team in third. I'd put Noel's team second, and I'd put my own team first. But that's just me. Maybe I'm a bit biased, but I also think that you could switch Jamal and Blake. It's up to you, but I think Noel and I are a clear tier above here.
Noel, what do you?
You let that three ball, huh, Vish?
I do. I love analytics.
Yeah, so I think if I'm ranking, I think I'm gonna, instead of doing the rankings, I'm gonna just do tier system, and I'm gonna go tier 2 Jamal and Blake, tier 1 Noel and Vish, and it can go either way. That's how I'm ranking these.
Jamal, what do you have?
I'm trying to decide if I want to do tiers or if I want to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I definitely think I would probably put Blake's team last. I think that defense is an issue. I really do. I think between mine and Nolan's team, I think it would be a good game. I really do. I will say I'll put Vish's team 1 just because I think that they do, like I said earlier, I think that they mesh really well. I can see them meshing well. I just think I see each role being filled like a regular team. So I just think that team, if you're looking at like continuity, filling each role, I can see that working out. If it comes down to just talent, I mean, I like my chances.
Talent, it might be your team, actually.
Yeah, if it's just talent, I like my chances. Nolan's team is solid in that category as well. But I do think when it really comes down to it, and especially, I guess my thought process is like not a regular season game, more of a playoff game. And you do need defense in order to win championships. So I like my chances there. But we saw this year, I think for a perfect example, we saw this year, yes, there were injuries. With the Suns, that team was rolling. They knew their roles really, really well. So I put a lot of emphasis on that. I think Vish's team would have a good chance.
Love it, Jamal. Thank you.
Crazy. This is actually wild. So I have 3 tiers for my team. Third tier is going to be Vish's team. I think the rebounding thing is just really going under the radar here. Like, who's the tallest guy? Like, is Bam even the tallest guy on his team? Like, I'm genuinely curious. Or is it Bridges? Like, I don't know who's grabbing a rebound for his team. Like, it's just going to be bully ball in the paint, and he's not going to stop anyone from going in there. So I got him in tier 3. Tier 2, I have Nolan and Jamal. I mean, they both have the size, obviously, and that's really, really important. And then, obviously, with Jamal's team, like Luka, who's guarding that man? Probably nobody on anybody else's teams, and he's got some shooters too. Nolan, he's just very, very well-rounded. DeAndre Ayton's going to log the paint, and then Booker and Tatum, that's 2 buckets right there. I'm going tier 1 for my team, and I think defense is being slightly overrated here, and here's why. We saw the Nets, I think, healthy. They would have won this title. They really would have. They were
That's not the Nets.
It's close. It's close. They were outplaying the Bucks with KD and Kyrie, and then when Kyrie got down too, there was just not enough there. But yeah, I mean, offense, 4 guys that can drop 20. I don't think anyone else could say that. And Trae Young and Zion are just gonna feast. Like,
Noel's team has 4 guys that can drop 20. Ayton, Collins, Tatum, and Booker. My team has 4 guys that can drop 20. Ball, Brown, Bridges or Adebayo, both are capable. And Spida. I got 3 guys that can drop 30. Noel's team's got 3 guys that can drop 30. Jamal's team's got 3 guys that can drop 50. What you mean?
Nah, my scoring better than yours, B. Sorry to break it to you.
Hey, real quick, I have to shout this out because I think this is hilarious, and I'm pretty sure this is true. But Pinor says, Blake cares so much about height. I'm assuming Blake is the tallest out of the whole panel. I think that's true. Is he? Are you not?
Yeah. Blake is the tallest. I think he's like.
I thought that was great. I think that's funny.
Yeah, that is funny. I unfortunately can't see the comments, but Pinor, you are 100% correct there. Just know, like, if I play Vish's team, he might not get any rebounds. Like, there's a realistic.
Yeah, you don't need to rebound the ball when it's going through the net. You know that? You're going to be taking the ball out from the out of bounds, so it's okay.
It's not going to be like that. It won't be like that. Don't worry. Just know that my offense is outscoring everybody else's offense, and that's what I'm banking on with my team. But any final thoughts besides that? Any responses, Noel?
Yeah, I'll just jump in. I will say that I think Blake's bringing up some good points that rebounding could be an issue with Vish. I just heard Vish's rebuttal to this criticism was if the ball goes through the net. Sounds pretty cocky to me, like he's just saying his players aren't going to miss. Players miss in basketball, man, and a big part of it's getting the rebounds. I don't know if Vish's team's getting the rebounds. I think Blake brought up some good points. I think he kind of took his own route with the rankings, but I think he brought up some valid points. And I think if his team is making the basket and playing semi-good defense, they're going to be a tough team to beat. I agree with some of the stuff Blake was saying.
I got a question about Blake's team. Who's going to handle the ball for Blake's team when if Ice Trae anything happens? Let's say we're all playing 7-game series against our teams. It's game 4. Ice Trae has been logging 46 minutes, dribbling the air out of the ball. He's feeling like James Harden, a little bit exhausted. Who's going to run Blake's offense? I mean, Shai is not really a guy that – I mean, Shai is capable of getting his own shot, but he's not a guy that can run his own offense. I mean, the rest of our teams, you look at Noel's team, if ZO2 isn't running, is getting a little bit tired, you can have Jason Tatum handle the ball, initiate the offense at the top of the key. You look at my team, I can have Spida do that for LaMelo. You look at Jamal's team, you can have Ben Simmons or Jamal Murray or Ben Simmons or Jamal Murray do it for Luka. But for Blake's team, he's relying on one individual playmaker.
I mean, Zion or Shai could step up if need be, but they won't really need to frequently because Ice Trae for a reason. I mean, you saw what he did to those boys in Philadelphia. He just kicked them to the curb. I'm not worried. Zion will be able to do it.
I think that's what makes your team good, though. You have to have Zion in the paint. Otherwise, he becomes kind of obsolete. He's not going to shoot that well. I'm not going to guard him out there. So I wouldn't want him handling the ball. I'd want him down in the paint. But I also do think that SGA is a better ball handler than Vish is giving him credit for, in my opinion.
No, he's a good ball handler.
I don't think he's great. I just think he's solid.
Game? Can you initiate your offense for an extended period of time in a game? There's a difference.
You saying
game he could?
I think he's a good ball handler, but I think there's a difference, right, between initiating your offense and
I see what you're saying.
A good ball handler and getting your own shot.
But it wouldn't have to be for all that long, no?
That's true. That's true.
That's because Trae Young.
We're getting into details and hypotheticals that
True.
are never going to happen at this point. But I do want to get one real fact in on Noel. We're talking about size here. Bam Adebayo's size didn't prevent him from having that block on Jason Tatum dunk attempt. That clutch block, that's all I got to say. Bam's still wagging his finger at JT.
All right, yeah, he's talking about size. So that's your center against my small forward. I'd hope he could block. If not, that would be a little bit embarrassing, no?
All I'm saying is JB on Ayton. Mark Jackson will be saying, Mama called him DeAndre. I called him posterized. Ida on.
Big words right there. Big words. I might just run the 2K simulation myself to get to the bottom.
Yeah,
my goodness.
Anyway, we all know that if Brian Scalabrine was on this team, it would be over. It'd be a wrap.
That's true.
The Red Mamba.
The truth.
Very true. So I think that'll wrap up the Build a Team $15. Drop in the comments what you guys think, why my team would beat Vish's easily, and just stuff of that nature. But yeah, definitely throw some rankings in there. But yeah, so this was kind of our main thing that we kind of wanted to get to for just the 50th episode, and thanking everyone. And that's kind of why we brought Nolan and Jamal on here, because they've either been a part of the show or just our channel a lot, and since the very beginning. So yeah, we just want to thank you guys, and for the new people that are watching right now for being here for this celebration, quote unquote. But we can get to I guess we can get to this just really quickly, and that is the Buccaneers versus Cowboys game. So that, as you guys know, this is a Friday. That was the Thursday night game, the opening game. So we could all just give some quick thoughts on what we thought from the Buccaneers, the Cowboys, just NFL being back finally. It's been a long time, and all the offseason hype trains are now fully in motion. But we'll start with you, Noel. What were your initial thoughts of this game, and what were your main takeaways?
Yeah, so initial thoughts, football's back, let's go off the bat. But in terms of the teams, some of the same old storylines with the Bucs. Brady still looking legit, had the finish, the clutch comeback. That's pretty on brand for him. I'm sure you guys will touch more on this, but Dak Prescott was looking back, and he was looking back with a passion. And then one thing, I guess, for a little bit of an interesting thing is I would just like to know what was going on between GMs and teams with Antonio Brown, because he's still got so much talent, and he was out of the league for so long. And he's got Brady, but personally, I'm a Bears fan. I wish the Bears would have got him. We don't have too much receiving talent. I just don't know what was going on with him and the other teams or general managers or whatnot, because he's still a baller. So those are probably three things that I picked up watching the game.
Awesome. Jamal, what did you take away?
Yeah, I think in response to your question there, Noel, I think the issue with AB was never about his talent. He's super talented. He had some of the off-field issues, and so people were scared to bring him in. That's how those things go. But at the same time, the pairing of AB and Brady is, to me, it's just brilliant, because that's how Brady's made his career, working with guys similar. Maybe he might be the most talented. I'd say now he's more of a slot receiver than he is an outside receiver at this stage of his career. And Brady's made a career killing with guys like that. He made Welker like this. And who was the other one before that? Who's the other small guy? Edelman. And so I think that's perfect for AB. I honestly think AB's going to have a really good year this year, should he stay healthy. Brady still looks great. I know a lot of people were saying, oh, he looks like he's 24 years old. His arm is still really good. I don't know. I don't understand the guy. He's just looking awesome. But the biggest thing in this game was Dak Prescott. And Dak Prescott still looks like Dak Prescott. He's not the fastest guy ever, but he's still mobile enough to move around a little bit. I kind of felt like he was, even though he ran a few times, he was a little scared to really test it. And I understand that, that makes sense. That's kind of the sports psychology of it all. Of, okay, well, I don't want to get hit. I'm coming off this major injury. So, but that being said, this dude deserves his flowers. By no means am I a Cowboys fan, but he looked great. I think that they should have ran the ball more. But I also think now I'm starting to think that I do think Zeke's best days are behind him. That being said, if you didn't want to run the ball much with him, at least run Tony Pollard a little bit more. But at the same time, I think Kellen Moore was thinking, I have three great receivers, and these corners can't match up, especially with Sean Murphy-Bunting going out. So because they don't match up very well, I'm going to throw the ball about 60 times, and it works out for them. I mean, Dak might lead the league in passing again this year. And the last thing I'll say is I won't go as far as to say I consider the Cowboys a true contender. The NFC East is not very good. They can still win their division, but I think that they probably would go – I think they'd probably lose in the first round, but they have the talent to be able to run the table. I don't expect it. I don't think it'll happen. I need to see more from that defense before I say, they're going to be something great. Yeah, they've got a really talented offense, really solid team, to be honest, and they're building something on defense. I think Micah Parsons is going to be great. I think he's going to be really good. His first game he's playing against Brady. That's tough. And Brady's really brilliant at moving his eyes and, moving linebackers. It's also the first week. This is week 1. So it's going to take some guys some time to start warming up, getting their bodies back into football shape as in terms of playing the full game rather than playing, a couple snaps, a few snaps. So I see the Bucs continuing to be really good. I think the Cowboys have a wide range of options of what could happen. But for me personally, I need to see more from them, especially on the defensive end, in order for them to be a true threat. I think the Cowboys corners is a big issue for them.
Yeah. Vish, what were your main takeaways?
Yeah, so you guys both said a lot, and I agree and disagree with a few things that have been said. The first thing, and I thought Noel hit it on the head, one of the themes of the game to me was that people are back. Like, Brady still looks like Brady at 34, at 44. Dak Prescott is back looking like Dak Prescott. Maybe his arm looked a little bit not as strong, but he was still Dak Prescott. I'm going to talk about him a little bit more. You mentioned AB. I thought AB was back in big ways. I thought he looked like Antonio Brown. And when he looks like Antonio Brown, he is the best receiver on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And that's given how good Chris Godwin and Mike Evans both are. And then there's another guy I thought that was back that both of you didn't mention is Rob Gronkowski. I thought Gronkowski looked like Gronkowski. He looked his body looked really, really good. He looks unbelievable. He looks like he's poised to have a huge season to add on to his already illustrious Hall of Fame career. In regards to Dak Prescott, I thought this game epitomized why wins aren't a quarterback stat. The best player on the field yesterday to me was Dak Prescott by far. I thought Dak Prescott had so many answers on how to attack this Bucs defense. They threw a lot of blitzes at him. He recognized the blitz so easily. He moved in the pocket so well. I don't think the Cowboys' offensive line protected him particularly well in that ball game. I just thought Dak Prescott was so good at finding space, feeling pressure, stepping up, stepping to the side, stepping around, and throwing the ball early with anticipation, touch, timing, accuracy. I mean, though even his interception was an unbelievable throw to fit that over the linebacker and get that to drop for CeeDee Lamb, and unfortunately it went right through his hands. But I thought Dak Prescott really was unbelievable in this football game. I thought he was the best player on it. Again, I thought his arm didn't look the same, but that's natural. He's coming off a shoulder soreness, and he's coming off a major foot injury, and he had maybe some things. It's like you mentioned, there's some psychological things, but I thought he was unbelievable. I disagree on running the football. This Tampa Bay front, with Vita Vea playing, allows like 70 yards rushing a game. The Cowboys' interior offensive line without Zach Martin is not very good. They would have gotten bullied when they tried. They got bullied when they tried to run the football. They would have gotten bullied. The Cowboys' best plan of attack was to do what they were doing. Let Dak spread it out. Let Dak make really smart decisions. I don't think he gets enough credit for being one of the smartest quarterbacks in the NFL. To me, he is. In the conversation after, the veteran guys like the Bradys. I mean, Breeze is gone, but Rodgers, those guys, I think Dak is as smart just in terms of being able to understand defenses, understand where to go with the football as anybody. So I thought that he did a really good job of that. I don't think the run game was really a possibility. In regards to their team's futures, I thought the Bucs made more mental errors than I expected on both sides of the ball. I thought all three of the Bucs turnovers, especially the one interception was a Hail Mary. The two were avoidable, and I think it could have been a different game if it was. I don't think Dallas's defense looked all that improved. Like you mentioned, I think there's issues at corner and all of that. And then in terms of Dallas, I think they showed that they have a special quarterback and a really, really talented offense with Amari Cooper. I mean, Amari Cooper had one of his good Amari Cooper games. We could be sitting here 2 weeks from now after Amari Cooper has 2-3 catch 20-yard games, being like, where's Amari Cooper? So that does need to be taken into account because that's kind of the story of his career. But I think Dallas still has a lot of question marks. I think Dallas's offensive line is a question mark, especially. I mean, we'll see what happens with Zach Martin, but and we'll see how long Tyron Smith holds out. We know he's been battling back and other issues the last few years. But I think Dallas has a lot of issues. But the one thing they showed is that they have a special quarterback and 3 receivers that are capable of winning. Michael Gallup got hurt earlier today, strained calf. He's out for a little bit. But they do have the weapons to compete with most teams. The question is, can they close games on defense? And one more thing, that was pass interference on Chris Godwin. That was clear push off. I think it needed to be mentioned. The talk is, oh, Tom did it again, blah, blah, blah. And he's unbelievable. He's Tom Brady, but that was a push off.
The one thing I'll say about that, why are the Cowboys always involved at the end of the game when it's pass interference? Last year it was Michael Gallup and Jalen Ramsey. This year it's Chris Godwin and I don't even remember the corner. Was it Trayvon Diggs?
I think it was Jordan Lewis, right?
Jordan Lewis. Yeah, you're right. It was Jordan Lewis. Yeah.
On the slot fade, yeah.
Yeah, when that happened, I was like, oh, my word. My first thought was, wow, Jalen Ramsey, Michael Gallup all over again at the end of the game. But anyway, go ahead, Blake.
Yeah, so I had a lot of similar thoughts. I really like what you said, Jamal, about Pollard. I thought Pollard just looked super, super explosive, and they were getting the ball to him in creative ways, which I thought they should do more of. And I think the saddest thing for me seeing was Zeke getting tackled by that Adams guy, the safety, who just came in from the practice squad. And there's a tweet from Skip Bayless that I thought was the truest thing ever, and saying future Zeke would have either ran through this guy or juked him out. And I was just so blown when he actually got tackled. And I know the tight end missed the tackle and it should have been a walk, or the tight end missed the block on him and it should have been a walking touchdown. But like, you would just expect Zeke to, like, you know, at least his how he's viewed, to like run through that man or, you know, actually score that. So that was surprising to me. And I thought Pollard should get more opportunities as the season goes on. And then with Prescott, I thought he looked great again. And I think the whole narrative behind him just being someone who's only playing from behind, and that's how he got all the stats, I think that should be put to bed or silenced a little bit after what we just saw. Now, they weren't playing from behind really at all that game. That was a close game, and they were still passing for 400 yards. And Gallup and Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb all just balled out. So that was really fun to see. And even Dalton Schultz and Jarwin were looking like decent tight ends. And I think the most impressive thing with the Buccaneers was just this talent is still so, so deep. Like, they had guys coming in because of injuries, and they still looked fine. The D-line looked great, as expected. And then Antonio Brown is your third receiver. He might be the best receiver on that team right now, and even at 33 years old, which is just crazy to think about. So, yeah, I think my main takeaway was just Dak looked great, although his arm maybe a little not as strong as it once was, and that's probably due to him having the shoulder injury, but it still was more than strong enough to, you know, get the ball where he needed to be and, kind of cook the Buccaneers defense.
Right. I think one other thing that I would say, we haven't even mentioned this guy, obviously, and I agree with you, Vish, that the Bucs D-line's amazing. They're super stout against the run. Totally understand that. JPP, Shaq Barrett. We have not mentioned Vita Vea, and he was a game wrecker last night. Connor Williams had no answer for the guy whatsoever. I thought really he was kind of sealed their win last night. He was in Dak Prescott's face when he needed to be. Not only is he a huge man that can maul people, but his pass rushing skills at the defensive tackle position, really good. I thought he was really good last night.
Me too. I thought Shaq Barrett also was very, very good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And JPP, he doesn't need all 10 fingers, and he's still like just incredibly effective against the pass and the run.
And to me, the fact that we're acknowledging that those guys played that well, and Dak Prescott still was able to drop back 58 times and do what he did, just makes it all the more impressive. Just how many times did he drop back and move right before the pressure got to where he was and throw a ball? You know, Dak Prescott is truly. I hope Dallas gives him a real roster. I don't think he's had one since his rookie season, a real roster you can win with. I know they've had a lot of names. By the way, DeMarcus Lawrence looked very, very good yesterday too. But They've given them a lot of names, and I've mentioned this with Dallas before. I just think their rosters always get overrated because the Joneses are the ones who draft that roster, so the media immediately jumps on it. And then if the players underperform, they blame the coaches and say the coaches haven't developed these players. But the reality is the players aren't as good as, in my opinion, as they're originally given credit for. But I hope that his career doesn't become what Tony Romo's was in Dallas, because Romo was a hell of a quarterback too. And Dak has had a little bit better surrounding cast than Romo, but it seems like Dak the last couple of years has been doing what Romo does, where he keeps having unbelievable game after unbelievable game, where you're watching him and you're like, yeah, this is one of the 6 or 7 best quarterbacks in the league. And the results just don't show because they don't have a lot around him. I mean, their defense was awful last year. I mean, I think they took a step in the right direction this year. I was shocked Dan Quinn went cover 0 on the red zone play. That's not a Dan Quinn tendency usually, and they paid the price for it with Brady hitting Gronk. But yeah, we'll see how good Dallas is, but they got a really good quarterback.
Yeah. I think one of the other – oh, go ahead, Noel. Go ahead.
I was just going to say one thing that has been mentioned that I think was a decently big factor in the game was special teams, in the sense that, I mean, the Cowboys lost by 1, but they had Zerline miss a pretty easy kick and an extra point. And then also one guy who impressed me a lot on the Tampa Bay side was their return man. I think his name was Higgins.
Yeah,
Mickens. He impressed me. I think it having a good return man, myself knowing as a Bears fan, is a very big X factor. I think something that people don't really listen to that much, but I think this guy Higgins could be legit. So those are 2 things I noticed.
Former Niner Bradley Pinion had a great game punting too.
Yeah, they punted. They punted. Both punters had great games. It was actually like the first part of this game was a punter showcase. Both punters were clinical.
Right. Which also leads back to Dak and how good he is to start at the 2-yard line. And I think he threw, I'm trying to remember which play it was. I think the first play that they had on offense, they were at the 2-yard line and he threw to Cooper, I think it was, for like a 20-yard catch. And I was like, oh, he's back. He's back. He looks really good.
Definitely. But I think that'll wrap up the Buccaneers topics. And if there's any comments you guys want to pin up here, that's cool. But yeah, I think that kind of wraps it up for everything that we had scheduled for today. So I'm sure we'll post a clip of the Buccaneers. And we will get we can always drop comments on the $15 House of Highlights Build a Team. And, let us know the rankings, or if you want to do tiers. We all did either tiers or rankings as well for that. So just let us know. And just another thank you guys for continuing your support. It's much appreciated. And as well to Nolan and Jamal for coming on here today and actually, joining us with the $15 Builder Team. So thank you to both you guys. So much appreciated.
No problem.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Let's go.
Yep. That'll wrap up this week's episode. So thank you guys, and we will be live again on Monday.